So this is great revelation for Father here, because copper was like the first metal to be used widely for instruments. Like copper, pure copper, okay, is the main ingredient in bronze, which then was, of course, the Bronze Age, and it was also the major ingredient in brass, okay. Copper, okay. So the letter copper parallels Father mathematically, letter for letter. It's element 29, which is half Father. Okay, there is only one way that you can divide Father, 58, into another even number, and that is dividing by 2. Okay, a pair of 29s, and there's only one way to split F-A-T-H-E-R into those two 29s, A-T-H and F-E-R. So it's very glorious, this 29. This number 29, everywhere it occurs, gives glory to Father, okay? The topmost member of the Trinity, the first of the first, the highest of the high. So for example, if you wear a hat or you buy a hat, the word hat equals 29. Why? Because the Father goes on top. Everything is always symbolic of God the Father being on the top of everyone and everything, and He's the topmost member of the Trinity, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. So that's why we're so hot on copper, okay? And copper being the first, and copper being the top. So I'm looking at Wikipedia page for copper, and you will read that copper was the first metal in the history of the world to be smelted from its ore. Remember, smelt equals Jehovah. To be Jehovah from its ore. It was the first metal to be smelted from its ore, the first metal to be cast into a shape by a mold, and the first metal to be purposely alloyed with another metal to create bronze. Okay. Copper, together with a bit of tin, we're talking less than 20% usually, is bronze. And then copper with zinc is brass. But copper is the kingpin. Copper is the Father. Copper is the root. Copper is the most important ingredient. And in the sovereignty of God, it is like the first metal, like I just read, to be smelted, the first metal to be cast into a mold, and the first metal to be purposefully alloyed with another one. So this is huge. So the fact that copper is element 29, we talked about that. And the Latin name is cuprum. This is so good. This is so good. That is so critical for your understanding. Okay. Wow. And then find 29 in Latin. Again, it's just like we saw in the word shampoo. It's you bind the letters together, the T-I, Latin. There's the 29 in order, okay? And then the rest divides by 3, being a 1, a 2, and a 3, which adds 2, nothing less than 27. 3 times 3 times 3. So when I look at the word Latin and I see that 29 screaming at me, it's to the glory of Father, okay? But cuprum is the Latin word for copper, so much so that the symbol for copper written in all the science textbooks is still Cu, cuprum. Feel it on your lips, cuprum. Who gets the last letters? Okay. PM is a famous way that God makes 29, which is half a Father. PM for Prime Minister. All of our news stations all over the world, including here in Canada, they don't have the time or the real estate on the screen to write, oh, Prime Minister meeting so-and-so. They just say PM. PM. And there's even MPs in Parliament who are leaders to the glory of God the Father, who is the authority over all the Trinity and all that. So PM equals 29, half a Father. That's the last 2 letters in cuprum. Cuprum. Remember, in London, God does the same thing. O-N-O-N is half Father, which equals Father. London. So Father gets the last words, London. Cuprum. Okay, so there's your 29, half Father. And then the C-U, the R, and the U all divide by 3, maintaining offset from that 29. And then, even better, 21, 21, 21. CR is 21, U is 21, U is 21. So when you say cuprum, you're shining out the number 29, which glorifies Father. Okay? And of course, copper is element 29. Okay? And then we solve the name copper, and it's very easy to, it parallels Father perfectly. And now we're just going to scoop up more gold in this element. Okay, there was a couple other things I wanted to search for and piece together. So we'll do it together in real time. Okay. It's fun solving all the big words like chemical. Like the word chemical begins with 29, and you can find 29s everywhere. I mean, chem is the very root of the word chemistry. Like if you take a course in university, it'll be called Chem 101 or Chem 100. Well, that chem equals 29, half a father. Okay? And then as you look at all the famous branches that come from chem, like chemistry, chemicals, whatever you go ahead, build any tree off that root that you want, chem equals 29, half a father. Okay. Okay, so let's dig in here. Excuse me. Let's dig in. Let's dig in. Okay, so in the history books, copper was principally mined in Cyprus. Father gets the last word on that city. And Cyprus is 111, okay. Oh, I see. Oh, interesting. The origin of the name of the metal comes from Cyprus. Metal of Cyprus, ace cyprium, later corrupted to cuprum. So it comes from the name Cyprus, from which the words copper, English, and cuivre, French, and cobre, Spanish, and copper, Dutch, are all derived. So it comes, so you have to go to the root to get your satisfaction. So we look at Cyprus, and I would pick off the Latin cyprium, which equals 102, cyprium equals Cyprus. Okay, 102, 3 times 34. Let's just do a little bit of research. Right, the most obvious thing is the PM that's hanging around there. Cyprium, the PM 29. And then what's left over in this case? Oh my, wait a second, folks. Then you have, okay, 25, I see. You have sun in there. Okay. So the most obvious thing about Cyprus is that it ends in father. Cyprus. It's a triple of God's great name, one. And that one is at the dead center, PR. Cool. Just like one is at the center of the word center. It would be interesting to get the etymology on Cyprus. So it's unknown. So a copper mine in Cyprus. Wow. Okay, I'll be back after this.